Good Monday morning, kindergarten. Today is Monday, April 27th, and we are going to be learning lessons 150 through 154 this week. We are getting towards the very end of our curriculum, and we are going to be covering just a few new things this week. Really, this week is going to be a lot of review with just a couple new things thrown in. So, with that being said, we have been learning our sight words in phonics. We've been learning special sounds. And as you're reading, some of our special sounds that come up quite often, or some of our special phonics words, I should say, that come up quite often are to, was, and said. Said is a little trickier because we can't sound it out at all. We really need to know it says said. And we see that a lot in stories when we have characters talking. So we like, Joe said that he would like to go outside. So. All right, and like I said, we've been reviewing those special sounds. We have E in me, O in go, I in fly, A in pray, st in stop, sh in ship, s in thick, s in this, and gla in glue. Today we're going to be learning a new special sound, and that special sound is in book, in book. Some of our special words that have in them are ook, woods, stood, look, hook, brook. All have in book. And then again, keeping on reviewing those special sounds, we've learned about 48 of them now. We have spluh in splash, scruh in scream, squah in squeak, thra in three, R in stars, ch in church, or in morning, ow in out, ow in owl, O in bowl, and then our three words are in bird, in nurse, in verse. All say but it's U-R-I-R-E-R. And our last special phonics sound that we're going to be learning this week is were in worms. Were in worms. So we find were in word, world, worse, work, worth, and worst. Were in worms. Happy little worms enjoying a nice green apple. All right, on to numbers. You have been learning coins. You've learned quarter, dime, nickel, and penny. And a fun activity at home that you could do is you could make up your very own store, just using things that you find around your room or your house and putting prices on them. I would do this activity focusing mostly on your nickels and your pennies, and then it won't be long and you'll be able to add some dimes in there too. So just like we've done in the classroom, I'm going to give you guys some coins, and then you go and you shop on different things that are marked in the room. That's what you could do at home. And you could, like I said, set up a little store. So let's just quick go over those coins. We have quarter, which is worth 25 cents. Dime, 10 cents. So if we see him, we know we're going to count by tens. Then we have nickel. Our nickel is worth 5 cents. So we would count by fives. And then we have pennies. Our pennies are worth 1 cent, so we count by ones. So let's say I set up my store, right? And I have this ice cream cone, and the price of my ice cream cone is 5 cents. Now, I could purchase this cone two different ways, right? I could pick up my pennies and I could count out 5 pennies. But if I didn't want to carry 5 pennies with me, what else could I do? I could just bring a nickel. So I could use my nickel and spend 5 cents on my cone because a nickel is worth 5 cents. But let's say I wanted to buy this Jeep. And the price of my Jeep is 9 cents, right? So again, I could count out 9 pennies, but then I would have 9 pennies to keep up with. What would another way be? Well, we'd start with our larger coin. So this is a nickel. He's worth 5 cents. Now, is 5 the same as 9? No. So we know that we're going to have to add on some pennies, because if I count by 5s and I have 2 nickels, I have 5, 10. That would give me my Jeep, but then I have to get change back. If I wanted to do exact change, I need to count some pennies. So we would start with our 5, and then we'd add on a penny. So when we add on a penny, then now we have to switch to counting by ones. 5, 6, 7. Is that enough? No. 8 and 9. So now we have 9 cents. I can go and buy my Jeep. And instead of carrying 9 pennies with me, I can carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins. So again, that's just an idea, something you could do at home. Make your very own store. And another thing that we're going to be learning in math this week is our next addition family. So we've learned 1 through 8. So this week we're going to be learning the 9s. So here we have Old Mother Duck. It says, over in the meadow by the old Scotch pine lived an old Mother Duck and her little duckies 9. Quack, said the mother, we quack, said the 9. So they quacked all day by the old Scotch pine. So here we have one duck. And it says 0 plus 9 is 9. And then 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. It's one of our twins, isn't it? 6 plus 3 is 9. And they have a twin, don't they? And 7 plus 2 is 9. Just like 2 plus 7 is 9. Another twin. And 8 plus 1 is 9. So with our 9s, we have twins, but we have no doubles. So, thing to keep in mind. And then another way that we can look at our 9s family is with our dots. So here we have 9 dots on this side, so 9 plus 0 equals 9. Then we have 8 plus 1 equals 9. And we have 6 plus 3 equals 9. 5 plus 4 equals 9. And 7 plus 2 equals 9. Now if we were to take these and flip them over, then we have the twins. So 2 plus 7 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, 1 plus 8 is 9, and 0 plus 8 is 9. So the 9s family is made all up of twins. No doubles in that family. All right, and if we use our felt board, we could do 3 turkeys plus 6 hens. Oh, one of them fell off. Let's see, where did that little red hen go? Oh, there she is. There we are. So 3 turkeys plus 6 hens equals 9. And again, there's lots of other combinations that we could do. All right. Just make sure that you are still practicing those addition facts. This is what 9 plus 0 is 9. All of these facts are going to equal 9. 7 plus 2. There's his twin, 2 plus 7. Then we have 1 plus 9. His twin, 9 plus 1. 6 plus 3. Twin is 3 plus 6. And then we have the twins, 5 plus 4 and 4 plus 5. All equaling 9. Now, what's our rule when we add 0 to a number? Well, it's like the number's looking in a mirror. So we have 1 plus 0 is 1. He's just looking in that mirror, sees himself. So 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 0 is 3. And 4 plus 0 is 4. Now, when we add 1 to any number, it's just the number that comes next or the number that comes after. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. And 8 plus 1 is 9. All right. And we talked about how there are only twins with our 9 family, but some of our other families do have doubles. So 1 plus 1 is a double. 2 plus 2. 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4. So anytime you add a number, the same number to a number, it is a double. So 6, 4, 2, 8. All right, and then also make sure that you are still practicing how to spell those numbers. We've learned our number words 1 through 10. And so if I were to hold up the number 7, you should be able to go, oh, yes, that's S-E-V-E-N. If I hold up the number 5, you should know that is F-I-V-E. 6, you guys are doing really good with S-I-X. 9, we can sound out N-I-N-E. 3, T-H-R-E-E. 1 is tricky because it sounds like there's a W, but it's O-N-E, O-N-E. 2, we don't really hear our W, T-W-O. And then we have 4, which it throws in that U, F-O-U-R. 10, you can sound out, T-E-N. And tricky 8, E-I-G-H-T. So just keep on working on those number words. You're doing great. And then also be working on time. So what time is it? 2:15, right? And another time would be 4 o'clock. So this would be 4:30. We're still 4 because we have not made it to the 5 yet. We're just halfway through our hour. And this would be 7 o'clock. And this would be 9:15. Very good. So this is 9:30. Excellent. Like I said, keep on working on time. Keep on working on counting by twos. Counting by twos. So here is our hundreds chart. And we would say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. And we'll skip on down here, skip down to our last row. 92, 94, 96, 98, 100. Keep on practicing counting by twos. All right, and then one other thing that you're going to be working on this week is number order. Being able to put numbers in order from least to greatest. So if you had these three numbers, so we have 56, 52, and 59. Well, they're all in the 50s house, aren't they? So since we know, looking at the first number, that they're all in the same house, then we need to look at the ones place and figure out which is the smallest number. So we have a 6, a 2, and a 9. So which of those numbers is smallest? The 2. So 52 is going to be first. And then which is smaller, the 6 or the 9? Okay, so 56 is going to come over right next to 52, and then 59. Does that make sense in our numbers house? It sure does. So when I'm counting, I'm going to say 52, and then 56, and then 59. Our next group of numbers, 67, 37, and 87. Ooh, right away I noticed that all my numbers in the ones place are the same. So I definitely need to look at the father or the tens place to find out which one comes first. If I want the smallest number first, which number is smallest? The 6, the 3, or the 8? Yep, the 3. So 3 is going to come over here. And then which number comes after 37? The 6 or the 8? Yep. And then we know that 87 then is our biggest. So 37, 67, 87. And does that make sense? Yes, it does. When I count, I always say 3 before I get to 6 or 8. And our last group of 3, we have 39, 42, and 34. So let's look at our tens place, or our father out front. We have 3s, 3, and a 4. So we have 2 numbers from the 30s house, and we have 1 number from the 40s house. Well, I know that 30 is smaller than 40, so 42, he's going to be over here, isn't he? So we need to figure out who's going to be first and who's going to be in the middle. So let's look at 39 and 34. Now we know that these 2 numbers are the same. So let's look at our ones place. We have a 9 and a 4. I know that 9 is larger than 4. So 34 is the least, and 39 is the greatest. So my numbers are going to go 34, 39. We already know that 42 is our last number because he is greater than the 30s house. So just working on ordering those 2-digit numbers. All right, and that is your math for the week. So the other thing that we have left is Bible. And in Bible this week, you're going to be learning about the Last Supper and Gethsemane, the Garden of Gethsemane. And so during the Last Supper, Jesus is with his disciples. And one thing that Jesus wanted to be sure to do with them was to wash their feet. And in washing their feet, he was showing them what it means to be a good servant. Not all the disciples were comfortable with Jesus doing this. And then they had their Last Supper, and Jesus got up and he spoke about communion. He spoke about his body for them and his blood shed for them. He says, "Take and eat. The bread stands for my body, which is given to you. This do in remembrance of me." Then Jesus took a cup of wine, gave thanks, and gave it to his disciples, and said, "This stands for my blood shed for the forgiveness of sins. This do it often as you think of me." And Jesus explained to them that every time they ate the bread and drank the cup, that they were remembering his death for the sins of the world. For this was the Last Supper that Jesus would have with him before being imprisoned and dying on the cross. So again, Jesus taught his disciples how to be a servant by washing their feet. And at the Lord's Supper, he showed them that the bread stood for his body and the wine for his blood. Then after the supper, they went to the Garden of Gethsemane because Jesus wanted to be able to pray and talk to his Father. So once he got everybody settled in, the disciples were very tired, so he took Peter, James, and John and walked away from the others a little further into the garden. And Jesus was feeling kind of sad, and his soul was very troubled. And he asked the disciples to stay here and stay awake with me. He wanted the comfort of having the 3 disciples near him, watching and praying while he prayed. And then Jesus went forward a little further and prayed to God. But when he got done praying and returned, the disciples had fallen asleep. He was a little disappointed with the fact that they couldn't even stay awake for him. And then one of his disciples, Judas, he betrayed him and led the soldiers there to arrest him. And Peter was very angry and cut off the ear of one of the soldiers, but Jesus healed him because Jesus knew what he had to do. And why did Jesus have to be captured? Why did he have to die on the cross? Jesus was the only perfect sacrifice or substitute who could take away the punishment for our sins once and for all. All right, so those are your 2 Bible lessons for this week. And the verse that you could be working on is W. And it says, "What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee." Psalm 56:3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. All right, kindergarten, have a wonderful week.